Hello and welcome to the first episode of Ray on Radio. I really hope that this mic is slaying right now, because if it's not, I'm gonna cry about it, but it's fine. My name is Ray and I love to talk. Yes, my microphone for the video watchers is on a nail file. We will make upgrades, people. We will make upgrades. Gotta start somewhere. First episode, I should probably talk about myself first. My name is Ray. I am 21. I'm a Gemini. That's pretty important information. Why I can talk so much. What else? What do people talk about when they talk about themselves? Am I supposed to say my social security number? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, guys. I got trained on internet safety. I'm just a 21-year-old girl living my life. I'm currently not in college because that's what everybody thinks that you should do at 21. But if you're in college, stay in school. I'm currently trying to decide what I want to do with the rest of my life because it's honestly really fucking hard. Oh my god, am I allowed to swear? Am I allowed to swear in podcasts? I don't know. I watch a lot of podcasts. Specifically, my favorites are, I used to watch a lot of podcasts. Now, I stick to 3 that I watch on repeat because 2 of them are canceled. And one of them is literally canceled with Tana and Brooke. The other one was Vanilla's Vacancy. Whenever I'm doing something, I need to listen to something. I don't know why. It's probably that damn phone. Yeah, so I've watched the entirety of Canceled probably 3 times. Same thing with Vacancy at Vanilla's. But the one that I love so much, I'm still watching and it's still on, thank God, is 6 Feet Above with Trevi Moran and Kate Lav. So good. I love that podcast. It's amazing. I've always wanted to start a podcast because honestly, I know this is crazy and extremely cliche to say, but ever since I was a kid, I was I want to be famous. But doesn't everyone? No, that's just always where I saw my life going. So I might be delusional, but all my delusion has taught me is getting through life. So I'm going to continue to be delusional. That's basically why I'm starting this podcast, is because I love to talk. I love to listen to podcasts. I want to be famous. No, I'm just kidding, but I was kidding about the last one. Kind of, sort of, I don't know. Check back later. The reason it's called Ray on Radio is because I was trying to think of a name and I was gonna do... Wait, what was I saying? Because I say that all the time. I'm always wait, what? What was I talking about? But that podcast name is already taken, unfortunately. So I had to be original. And Ray on Radio just stuck. I'm feeling like Radio Rebel. Just kidding. But honestly, nobody can tell me that movie was not good at the time. At the time, that was the blockbuster. That and 16 candles. It's not 16 candles, is it? Whatever, the birth... Hold on. Let me do my research real quick. We got the MacBook Hello. I was also going to name it that. I was also going to name it Hello. But I don't know. I felt like that was silly. Maybe okay, actually, if anybody listens to this, which they will, I'm just kidding. I promise I'm not self-absorbed and crazy. Well, a little crazy. Anyways, is Ray on Radio better or Hello? I don't know. See, now this is something I always do. I overthink all of my decisions. Hence why I don't know what I want to do with my life yet. Oh, no, it's fine. What is that movie that I was talking about? Debbie Ryan movie with candles. Yup, that's what I was talking about. 16 Wishes. I was close. 16 Wishes came out in 2010. It was magical. Really, truly, the whimsy of the time. Literally, what am I saying? That's another name. Oh my god, I'm just thinking of all these names. Actually, is that a podcast? Literally, what am I saying? Because I have to be original. Oh my gosh, that's not a podcast name. I might have to change my podcast name in the middle of my first podcast. Okay, guys, this might be Ray on Radio, or this might be Literally What Am I Saying. I honestly might have to go with Literally What Am I Saying, because I don't know, I say that all the time. Clearly that wasn't thought through. Guess we'll see what it ends up being. Where was I? Oh, my lights just died. Wow, this is a really put together first episode. Honestly, just stay tuned. Things will change. If you're in the audio one right now, which I hope the audio sounds good, we'll get there eventually. Also, this might not be the setup forever. There will be lights next time, but thank God the sun is still out. Technical difficulties aside, I want to talk about my first... Literally, what am I saying? See? Okay. I'll probably say what this podcast is even going to be about. I really just want to talk about, like, pop culture, movies, recent events in my life, mental health. Honestly, just anything that you would think a 21-year-old girl would talk about. I mean, some episodes I want to be themed. Like, I wanted to do video essays, but I could do video essays and podcasts put together. Oh, that might be a thing. I've literally already written an essay for a video essay, but I'm just like waiting until I've finished it, because with ADHD I pick up tasks and then I don't exactly always finish them. My first topic of conversation, I wanted to talk about what everybody else in the freaking world is talking about, at least on TikTok. Euphoria season 3. And I'm not gonna sit here and say much on this topic, because I feel like it's very over talked about, and the amount of information and everything is like oversaturated, because you go on TikTok for 5 seconds, you're probably gonna see a video about it. I do have my 2 cents to add, and actually I'm gonna take an Alani break real quick. Hold on. Not sponsored, obviously. These are probably really awful for me, but the pink slush flavor, it's too good. What do I have to say about Euphoria? I really mourn the show that Euphoria could be with good writing. I see all these theories about the show, specifically around like Bishop being part of the DEA, and he like caught on to Rue, or he's catching on to Rue, or whatever. The other ones I've seen a lot of them. Here's the thing, the writing is just not that good. Like, I saw this comment on a TikTok about it, and it said, y'all are so Stranger Things about Euphoria, and I think it's true. Don't shoot the messenger. We really thought a bunch of great things were gonna come from Stranger Things season 5, and they didn't. It was just AI, allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly to everything, because I don't want to be in a scandal. Season 5 was just disappointing of Stranger Things, and I feel the same way about Euphoria season 3, because I am kind of strictly only watching it for FOMO, and the fact that I watched the other 2 seasons, and the first season was actually magical. It was the vibe of the time. Euphoria was magical. And then in season 2, it was still, the magic was still slightly there, just less there than in season 1. A little bit of hope for season 3, but not much. I feel like every single episode we are getting more information, or we're getting nothing. And like when we're getting more information, I feel like it's never gonna be talked about. Like, what is her name in the show? Okay, so I don't think she was named in the show, but the girl in episode 1, played by Jessica Tresca, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe she's gonna come back in later and it's gonna be this crazy amazing thing. Is that actually gonna happen? I just feel like it's rushed, which it shouldn't be rushed, because it took how many years between to release? 2022, right? Yeah, 4 years basically. 4 years for this to come out. I feel like it's rushed, and that's crazy considering it took so long for it to come out, but that's fine. Going back to what I was saying, so far from what we've seen 4 episodes so far. Episode 1, I feel like there was a lot of gross content. Didn't really get much from it. Same with episode 2. I feel like episode 2 was technically better than episode 1 in my opinion, but again, gross content. We didn't really get that much from it. A wedding, I was so underwhelmed. Also, I just hate that the Jules and Nate storyline never got back up. Like, it happened in season 1 and then never spoken about again. And then everyone was like, oh, but they shared the cigarette, and he was like, you love who you love. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's not really how a plot line should end. But who am I to say? I'm not writing TV shows. I wish that they did more with Jules, especially in season 3. I wish, and I know we've only seen half of it, so I can't say much. And I will continue to talk about this in my thoughts every episode. And I'm not a Rue and Jules shipper. Like, Rue talking about how, like, Jules was the first girl she ever loved. Jules says something about being loved. Okay, this is me in editing. What I was saying in this portion, Rue says, Jules was my first love. Jules says, Rue was the first girl who didn't just look at me. Like, she actually saw me. So forgot to mention here that I am queer. So I'm not just being like a lesbian dater, to clarify. It really just shows that Rue loves Jules and Jules loves being loved. Which, I don't know, none of these characters are saints. I'm gonna wrap up my talk on Euphoria. I think I'm gonna move into 2 topics at the same time. I have ADHD. Diagnosed as a child, and then things happened and they were like, well, you actually don't have ADHD. And when I was 17, I was re-diagnosed, and then I got back on my medication. I was like, wow, my mind wasn't supposed to be like that. That's crazy. I could have done so much better in school. So ADHD affects my life in a lot of ways, specifically executive dysfunction. And if you don't know what executive dysfunction is, impairment in planning, organizing, initiating, and completing tasks. That is from Google. How would I explain this to somebody who doesn't have my brain? So I'll be lying in bed and I'll be thinking about the 80 million things I need to do, like, oh, I need to pay my car insurance. Oh, I need to clean my room. Oh, I need to edit this video. The dishes. And I'll just be thinking about all these things that I need to do that, in retrospect, would not take that much time. I mean, some of those things would, of course. But it's paralysis of not being able to do it. For me, at least. That makes life really, really hard, especially, like, current state of the world and how there's things to do all of the time. I feel like when people talk about ADHD, it's like a silly funny. It's like, haha, yeah, I have ADHD and I'm quirky. Which, there are parts of it that are, like, silly funny, but the parts that aren't, horrific. They are horrific. I have felt extremely lazy lately. I know that I'm not a lazy person. My brain just will simply not let me do things sometimes. It's really great. It's really fun. I love it. For any of the people listening who have ADHD or experience that, you're not lazy. Your brain is literally just fighting against you, and other people don't have to do that. So, like, a reason why I'm, like, so tired all the time, like, I'm so tired all of the time, and it's crazy because I sleep for like 8 hours a night because I am very strict about my sleep. Usually I love to get my sleep because it helps your brain, it helps your life, it helps you whatever. But I will literally sleep for 8 hours or more, which I know you can oversleep, but we're not even getting into that right now. I will literally sleep for 8 hours and then I'll go to work and I'm so tired because my brain is working like 20 times harder just to like get through the day because it has so much to make up for. Really affecting me lately because all of my friends are in school or doing something that adds, I guess, importance to their life. One friend who's a teacher, I have another friend who is in college, like my best friend. She's going to school to be some sort of like physical type of therapist, like that. I feel really bad for not knowing exactly what it's called. My friend does drag and like doing great and has something that he does. I don't know, with feeling tired all the time, like the weight of everything going on in the world also What's going on? Kind of hoping that with starting this podcast, maybe it will help me to feel better about that. And if I have something that I like to do, that would help, I'm sure. It's almost like that's exactly why people do things, is because they like to do them or they have to. Basically, what I was saying with that entire rant is there should be more awareness that ADHD does make life harder. Basically, all I was just trying to say is life is hard. I actually don't know how long I've been talking. Another thing that I want to talk about, the uproar of concerts. Love going to concerts. I literally have been to probably at least 15, 20 at this point. A handful of those concerts are ones of like my favorite people. A lot of the concerts that I've been to, I've gone with somebody to like, not only because they wanted to go, but I've gone to a lot with my father because he wanted to go, which is fine. Love going with my dad too. A lot of them have been for other people, and a goal of mine this year is to go to more concerts. Well, maybe not this year because money's tight, but a goal of mine in the future is to go to more concerts for myself. I am going to see The Neighborhood. I don't care. A show in my state, like later this year. I was supposed to go with one of my best friends, but he lives in Boston, Massachusetts, but same difference. Didn't work because like the planes were weird at that time, and it was just too much. I'm going to see The Neighborhood later this year. I do not care. I really want to go to All Things Go. I think it's in Maryland, but the lineup is insane. I also wanted to go to Lollapalooza, which would kind of be more of a possibility in my situation. At the same time, it just was not gonna work. I do have a flex though. I have seen Charlie XCX and Clara. Like Charlie XCX on the Brat Arena tour. One of my goals for the future is to go to more events and concerts that I'm able to, because I love events, I love concerts, I love meeting new people who have similar interests to me, and also just like being in a group of people who like are there for the same thing, or at least kind of are there for the same thing. It's a beautiful experience, truly. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to talk about in this episode. Don't need to plan out like segments and things. Obviously, this is my first episode. It's not gonna be the most put together. That's another thing that I am trying to work past, and is the fact that I feel like if I am doing something, it has to be absolutely perfect, or it's not worth even doing, which is not true, because what did they always say? Practice makes perfect. Somebody one time said to me, like, practice makes progress. Either way, practice is doing something, and the only way that you're gonna get better at something is by practicing. Will the first, 20 episodes of this be a practice? Maybe. Is it gonna be perfect every time? Absolutely not. One segment that I know that I for real want to do. Wait. One segment that I know I want to do that I'm gonna have to wait until I get more viewers. Advice, like an advice segment, or just like a talking about stuff segment. Like you send in something that's going on in your life, and I talk about it with you, and you can just talk to me about it, and I'll talk about it, and we can all just talk. Literally, what am I saying? Another segment that I want to do is my songs of the week, because as I said, I love music. I'm just going to go into my full listening stats for the week, actually. Top artists this week are Megan Thee Stallion, Charlie XCX, Tovolo, Don Toliver, and Underscores. Great. Outstanding. My top 5 songs of the week are Do It by Underscores, Pop Star by Coco and Claire, Don't Delete the Kisses by Wolf Alice, Feels Like Summer by Childish Gambino, and Swim Good by Frank Ocean. all outstanding songs. Truly do recommend. That is this week's lineup. I hope that you enjoyed the first episode of literally What Am I Saying? I have decided that is the name. Scratch Ray on Radio. That's gonna be really, really embarrassing when I'm like, hey, welcome to Ray on Radio, and then I change it halfway through. But I'm just an indecisive gal. Sorry, is that a crime? Come back next week. Stay silly. I'm gonna have to figure out an outro. If you're here, I love you, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye!